Now, Interact HRMS also has an expense management solution, which also supports the submission of travel expense claims and reviewing, approving them, and then having them paid through the payroll. So that means we have different types of travel expenses that you can define yourselves. You can have your own expense definition, which is done in the compensation module, and these expense codes will link with the different travel expenses that are available in the system. And here you can see that we're including them in the automatic timesheet. Now, we have the ability to set up a batch expense sheet, which is what you're going to be using when you submit your claims. And for that purpose, you're going to be able to define a format. So everything always depends on the nature of your business, whether certain information is important for you to know about a particular expense type. For example, will you allow the employee to choose the GL account or the cost center or the revenue center, or do you need the employee to indicate whether a certain expense is reimbursable or not, and what is the payment schedule date, and so on. You can also indicate if something is billable, so that a consultant who is claiming expenses that are related to a project, maybe those project expenses need to be billed to the client afterwards. So that is all configurable in how we set up the system. So once we have done all of that, then we can submit expense claims. So I'll show you an example for an employee. Here's my employee, and I'm going to have her, through self-service, submit an expense claim. Right here, she can submit the personal expense claims. The expense sheet will contain all the details that we have configured as being required, and it will allow you to submit your expenses with a receipt, and once they are approved, they will be automatically processed through the payroll. And that's the whole objective of the expense management, to make it easy for you to submit your expenses in multiple currencies if required. And then once your supervisor has approved them, finance does not need to go and rekey any information. It'll automatically process through payroll.